Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
As state troopers were trying to arrest State Rep Jewel Jones for allegedly driving drunk, Jones apparently said, "I'm going to call Gretchen Whitmer on you guys."
We're talking with Mayor Duggan. What is the new plan to get Detroiters vaccinated? You may be surprised to learn about what's coming next. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank, tonight.
Okay, Hank, we're going to begin, though, with a high-speed chase through Detroit's east side as police work to arrest a man wanted for shooting 5 people.
Police started the pursuit a little before 12:30 this afternoon. It ended 30 minutes later with the driver slamming into a tree.
Our Tim Pamplin was there as police made the arrest of a man that they say is a dangerous criminal.
The suspect wanted for shooting 5 people on the east side. There he is. We've blurred his face. He's innocent until proven guilty.
Bye-bye now.
Officers flying up Gratiot. They had citizens scratching their heads.
Hey, the boys coming from everywhere with these flying towards us. Oh, that's why. Oh!
The chase lasted for about half an hour.
When you have 5 individuals that were shot in the city of Detroit, you know it's tough. We look at the traffic, the weather, the individuals involved, their experiences, and those were our proactive units with a lot of experience. So we were comfortable as supervisors to let this chase continue.
The chase finally ending as the driver hits a speed bump, loses a tire, then loses control, crashing into a tree. But this chase isn't over yet. That's right, he takes off on foot, captured just a few moments later in the neighborhood.
He's one of the roughness.
Again, Detroit police say they needed to get this guy off the streets. They're prime suspect for shooting 5 people last Saturday on Detroit's east side. That is the scene on the east side today. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Dangerous situation. All right, Tim. Our other top story at 5 o'clock, the report from state police says State Rep Jewel Jones threatened to call Governor Whitmer during his DUI arrest on I-96.
And that's just one part of a detailed report that's shedding new light into what happened that night. Let's bring in Sean Lay live to take us through what police say happened, Sean.
Kimberly, the police version of this, a wild scene out there on I-96. This report is absolutely packed with details. We put it on clickondetroit.com for you if you want to read the whole thing. Troopers say Jones was really resisting, but at the same time, he had a lot to say. Bro, if you tase me, it's gonna be bad. MSP troopers say those are the words of State Rep Jewel Jones, a Democrat from Inkster, as troopers report Jones appeared to be highly intoxicated on the side of westbound I-96 near Fowlerville. Jones' SUV with the vanity plate elected was in a ditch. Troopers say Jones had plenty to say as he struggled with them, resisting arrest, allegedly saying, "It's not going to be good for you. I run your budget." Troopers had no idea who Jewel Jones was. They were called as other drivers watched a black Tahoe swerve, sideswipe the wall, roll into a ditch. Its driver appeared to be passed out behind the wheel. Troopers say as Jones continued to struggle with them, Jones allegedly said he was going to call Governor Whitmer. This MSP incident report quotes Jones as saying, "If you strike me, it's going to be bad for you. If you hit me, it's going to be very bad for you. I'll call Governor Whitmer right now." Troopers report that Jones had to be taken to the ground. A taser was used twice and then pepper spray used to get him under control. And again, troopers say Jones was going to call the governor, allegedly saying, "You're not stronger than me, I'll tell you that much. I don't give a blank, bro. When I call Gretchen, I'll need your ID badge numbers, everything." Now, right there on the spot, Jones was taken into custody, could not reach his phone, so he never got to call the governor from the highway there. No response from Jones today. I did speak at length with his attorney, Ali Hamoud. He insists there are a lot more details here and another side to this case, and he's going to provide those details next week. Back to you.
We will be following that, Sean. In the meantime, I know he's been charged, but not just with driving under the influence, right?
Correct. And he's not been convicted of anything, but
right.
Here's the long list of charges: resisting, obstructing a police officer, operating a vehicle with a high blood alcohol content, driving while intoxicated, possession of a weapon while under the influence of alcohol, and reckless driving.
Yeah, and we will continue to follow it, as I said. All right, Sean, we appreciate it.
Let's move now to coronavirus. Some encouraging signs. New cases of COVID-19 here in Michigan seem to be leveling off over the past few days. 4,867 new cases over the past 24 hours. 108 more deaths also being reported. That includes 75 from a review of past vital records.
Take a look now at the vaccine, and 300,000 new doses are headed to Michigan, putting that total at 8.3 million. 6.1 million doses have been administered.
In the city of Detroit, though, the vaccine numbers are low, hovering around 25%, and many walk-up vaccination sites, as we reported yesterday, sitting virtually empty.
But today, Mayor Duggan announced a new plan aimed at getting a whole lot more shots into arms. Hank Winchester spoke with the mayor today. Hank joins us live now. And Hank, how's all this going to work?
And Kimberly, I think the mayor's concerned about some of these numbers. In fact, they may be below 25%. Here's why. Whether it's Ford Field, TCF, or the different rec centers around the city of Detroit, people are just not showing up to get these shots. So the mayor and his team, well, they're now working on Plan B. The line to get a vaccine here at this Westside Community Center, it is long. What is working here that is not working at other sites throughout the city? Well, number one, name recognition. This community center tied to Reverend Horace Sheffield, a known and trusted name in the city.
Everything we do, we pour into this community, and people appreciate what we do.
Wanda Ellis arrived here early this morning to get the shot in her arm.
Well, I have grandbabies, and I just want to, I think it's a good vaccine to have.
But the reality is less than 30% of Detroiters have been vaccinated. It is a big concern for Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan.
In the early phases, people who were anxious to get the vaccine, the city of Detroit was the most efficient at getting them vaccinated. Now, for those who are not as motivated, we got to be more accessible.
So what's next? Reaching out to other high-profile leaders in Detroit, trying to get them to do what's happening here.
This is going to be the next phase of what we have to do in vaccinations.
But that's not all. If numbers don't increase and increase quickly, the mayor's talking about the possibility of mobile units, bringing the vaccine directly into neighborhoods, going door to door.
I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be house to house. But that's the next phase. Right now, we need to go to community-based vaccination sites, and today is a model for our next phase of rollout.
So house to house may be the next step in a couple of weeks. You heard there from the mayor, but a big change happening right now is at some of those rec centers we've been reporting for the last few days. The hours were 9 to 5. Some of those hours now expanding depending on the location until 7 p.m., possibly later. We have all the information regarding the hours and where you can get vaccinated in the city of Detroit on clickondetroit.com. We're live here tonight downtown at Ford Field. Hank Winchester, back to you.
On it day by day. All right, Hank, we also have our sights set on the weekend, but Ben is tracking some rain on the way.
Yeah, let's get over to him for a look at what's coming, Ben.
Yeah, not a complete washout, guys. There's going to be some time to enjoy over the weekend, but we got to get these temperatures up first because they have just been in the basement here in the last 48 hours. Some improvement today. We're in the mid to upper 40s right now, so it's about 4 to 8 degrees better than we were doing last night at this time. Storm Tracker 4 did have a couple flakes around for parts of the afternoon, and those are gone now out to the east. We're going to stay dry until we get into the weekend, and then that's when that rain starts to arrive. Temperatures falling through the 40s through the evening hours tonight. We'll already be in the 30s at midnight. Now, there are no freeze warnings out for us tonight. However, temperatures are going to be pretty close to 32 waking up tomorrow morning. So we'll talk about that. We'll time out that rain for the weekend. And believe it or not, we have a reasonable chance of looking at 80 degrees in the 7-day forecast. More on that ahead.
How about that? All right, Ben. Now let's move to Lansing, where the year-long battle over COVID restrictions appears, however, slightly to be easing. Back in March, Rod Maloney sat down with Governor Whitmer for an extended interview on COVID and the legislature. Tonight, he's doing the same with the Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, who has been no stranger to controversial headlines this year either. Let's check in with Rod. Rod?
Yeah, you know, Devin, I've been calling this the Lansing logjam for quite a while now, but we have found out in the last week that the governor, after 8 months, finally sat down face-to-face with the Republican leadership discussing ways to spend the federal dollars that are mounting there in Lansing. And when I spoke to the Senate Majority Leader, Mike Shirkey, today, he said that those talks are cordial and confidential.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Rod, we should be opening up things right now. And one of the things we're exploring is what it's going to take for us to be able to do that. and those conversations will continue.
While willing now to sit down with Republican leadership, Governor Whitmer calls it maddening, the Republican response and criticism regarding her trip to Florida last month. The leader says he's ignoring the criticism and wants to move forward.
I'm glad the governor was able to go help her father. We all want that to have ability to be able to do so. But I can tell you there's thousands of families in Michigan who wanted to help their loved ones in nursing homes that were prohibited from being able to go and talk to them, walk with them, touch them, hug them, kiss them, whatever. And I think we now know that was unnecessary restriction.
Early on, extreme measures were taken to keep nursing homes as safe as possible, but Shirkey believes they went on too long. And what's more, he says, thousands of Michigan residents have permanently closed. Shirkey says he pulled legislation that would have imposed restaurant restrictions tougher than the governor's as an olive branch to her, showing willingness to negotiate.
Need to open things up. Businesses by this time, Rod, have figured out how to operate safely, protect their suppliers, protect their customers, protect their vendors, protect their employees, and everybody knows what to do and how to do it. And government needs to get out of the way.
Now, we asked Mr. Shirkey about the governor and her decision not to shut Michigan down hard like she did last year during their most recent COVID surge, and he said that it really is evidence to him that the governor has not been using data and science all along. Back to you.
And Rod, I know you also spoke about the new voter legislation that's on the mind of a lot of Michiganders right now.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to him very much about that at 6 o'clock because he says that there's a lot of, things that are misunderstood about that law, and he wants to definitely talk about that.
You got it. All right, Rod, we will see you at 6. Now to a preventable tragedy, and it just keeps happening.
New tonight, how 2 gun safety experts are working to make sure children know exactly what to do if they find a gun.
Also, how police say a traffic stop for littering led to a Grand Rapids police officer throwing a punch. Doc?
Digging into Michigan's latest COVID-19 data, I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, what the new numbers reveal about where we are now and where we may be heading.